Hello my friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Novella. Today is Sunday and that means coffee klatch. Coffee klatch means that I invite you over for a coffee and we have a little chit chat. And mostly that's about books in my case. So yeah, it's very hot today, so I will keep it short and sweet. I didn't read very great books. The one that I really liked, The Maniac by Benjamin Labatut, I talked about in my previous video, so you can watch that one if you want to know more about that. What else did I read? Well, no. I want to go back to my book review of last Sunday of Chrysalis. So I said that I really didn't like the ending of Chrysalis. But actually, after talking with several people about this book, the ending is perfect in a way. This is a story of a woman that is observed by three people. A guy in a gym, a woman, her mother, and a woman at her work. So they all talk about the same woman. You know those people that come into your life without warning, and they demand a lot of attention and a lot of needs, and yeah, just they kind of take over your life for a little while, and then after a while they just disappear. And that's what this book is really about. And yeah, it's actually, I have to admit, it's brilliantly done. So I didn't get it at first, but in retrospect, no, it's very good. It's very good. Then another book that I read, Lucky Red by Claudia, Cravens, Orphan Outlaw Lover. Lucky Red is about a girl, 16-year-old girl who lives in the States, but during the Wild West. And her name is Bridget. Her father was a bit of a lowlife. He loses everything and he dies before her eyes of a snake bite, a rattlesnake bite. But yeah, she's on her own. And then, yeah, what can she do? So she travels to the next village, and that village is, yeah, sort of place where there's of course a brothel, and she is hired there, although she is only 16. But in those days, those were the days that was happening. You did what you had to do to survive. And so she learns the trade, and then there's a girl who arrives there who is, yeah, flamboyant, and she peeks through the walls and sees how she entertains the men, and she kind of falls in love with her. And then other things start to happen. That's about it that I can tell you, because the ending is quite surprising, and it really is worth to read it to the end. It is about, yeah, self-discovery and about surviving, and about how strong people can be, and how love is not necessarily the thing you need to get through life. And sometimes you fall in love with the wrong people, and sometimes you fall in love with the right people, and that's what this book is about. It's really well written. It really reads like a Western, a female Western, so it's fun. It's a fun little book. It doesn't ask very big questions, and but it's a good, fun, entertaining read. Something you need from time to time after all the heavy stuff that you're reading. Then of course I'm still reading. I'm over halfway the Tale of Genji. I noticed that the Tale of Genji is written by two people. Apparently it's mother and daughter, and I'm now in the daughter part, which is way more dark and grim and adult and less dreamy and Genji, the most beautiful man on earth, that's gone, and it's way more interesting to read. And there's a beautiful chapter about the art of calligraphy, and that's really interesting and beautiful. And it's also about how perfumes are made and such. So it's very interesting to read that text about calligraphy and perfumes that is 1,000 years old. So it's sometimes difficult to grasp, but I like it. I still like it. I love it. Then a book that I read yesterday was by Shelley Burr. This is the Dutch version, but it's an Australian novel. It's called Wake. I will put a picture up. Wake is about Lane, who is a private investigator, or at least that's what he tells the people. And he goes to a farm where there was a girl missing for a very long time. And he wants to speak with the sister, who still is surviving, who still lives there and is, turned to herself in a way. And he goes there and he says, well, I really want to reopen the case of your sister. And she is not in the mood for that because, there's still a bond of, or a fee of $1 million that you can get if you have the right tip, the golden tip. And so she's very reluctant to give in, but after a while she gives in, and he goes for a quest to find her sister. Now he has, of course, also a dark past. It's not a bad book, but I think for me it was only a 3-star read. There's nothing. This is a book that I won't be able to retell in 2 weeks. So it doesn't have a lasting effect on me. So and then I also read Siddharta by Herman Hesse. This was a buddy read with Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot. Now, this book was written in 1950, by a German, just after World War II, and this must have had quite an impact on people who read this. It was the first time, or maybe one of the first times, that people came into contact with the more Eastern philosophy in life, And Siddhartha is actually the story of Buddha, of a man who wants to follow his own path and not somebody else's, and wants to learn his lessons that way. And it is good, it is interesting, and is very easy to read. But for me, I've learned those lessons already, so it felt a bit like a literary self-help book. But I think that a lot of people who are questioning themselves and life can have can get a lot out of this book. So I highly recommend it if you are looking for answers in life. So then Siddhartha is a really good read. So that's about it. I haven't read that much, I have the feeling, although I have, kinda. So I don't know what I will read next. I'm still thinking what I will read. There are a couple of things that comes to mind, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe Lavinia by Ursula Le Guin. Maybe I want to read this one. This starting today, but I want to read another 100 pages today of Tale of Genji, so I'm then about 65% in, and that gives me a good pace to finish the book by the end of this month. And that's about it. I don't have much to tell. Everything is okayish. It's very hot today. It's 32 degrees, which is very abnormal this time of year. And people do as little as possible. And that goes for me too. So I'm looking for, hoping for some less hot days so I can do a lot more in the garden and stuff. And yeah, besides that, Vita is still a terror, sweet, but a terror. And Muffin is a good mama. And yeah, tell me, what are you reading? Do you have any tips for me? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for your time. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.